Psychology is the study of how behaviour and how people think and feel. It's a scientific study where we actually put the science behind how that works and help people change some of those things that may not be working for them. Psychologists are highly trained professionals who work with people on how they might actually modify how they think, feel or behave in response to something they're having difficulties with. So in the case of autism, that might be social skills training, that might be certain behaviours that you want to modify or change, or things that might not be working for you on a given problem or area, and how that might be better modified to suit you. Most adults who experience or get a diagnosis of autism, or even a consideration that that might be a possibility, find it to be a sense of relief. Finally, some of the experiences that they've had across their lifetime make sense in the context of that diagnosis. And it's just a nice feeling to know that there's something out there that can explain, what they've been going through across their lifetime. In particular, the psychologist then might actually work with them on whatever their unique experiences, whether that's in a workplace or in a learning setting or even at home in their personal relationships. And we'll work on whatever area of issue that the diagnosis might have raised or whatever the experience they might be having and how that might differ. So we'll work with them at an individual level or sometimes on the people around them, understanding why they might struggle with that. And then in terms of how that might differ, there's a lot less research on autism in adults than what we have in children. That can make it harder for people, but at the same time, there's a lot of commonalities to the experiences. So in terms of what we'll do from there, we will actually just sit down, work out what that area of difficulty is and how we might then modify what the person needs to think, feel or behave, and how we can work towards achieving that goal. Another area that co-occurs with autism is co-occurring mental health issues. In particular, anxiety is known to be common. It's not the only one, but it is one that is known to be common. And psychologists are particularly skilled at working with individuals on how they might feel less anxious, coping skills, learning and strategies that might address that. And they can modify that for people who are having any type of autism symptoms that coincide. It's all about living the best life that you could live. And if something is getting in the way of that, why not seek out support and treatment that might address that issue? In terms of autism, that might be how you read people's emotions, how you communicate with people, some of the social skills stuff. It could also be your learning style, how you better learn in a particular environment so that you can achieve more at work or in personal life, as you might want. Or on the other hand, it might be that, some sort of comorbid issue like the anxiety or depression. It's often that you don't realise the great degree of impact the two are having together. So it's about actually, why should I continue to think and feel in a way when I could actually have some relief from those negative thoughts or less than ideal experiences that are stopping me from thriving in life. Often our work is in clinic, meaning that we'll be one-on-one in a room with you, very much in the way that people traditionally see therapy to be. But we'll work on the individual issue that you're having. So is it in your personal relationship? Is it in the workplace? If it is in the workplace, we might look at how the environment is structured, what your particular learning style is, the individual problem that you're having, and then we will drill down on how that's impacting the people around you, what their experience is, how you can modify the way you think or behave. That will then influence the way you react within that environment and how to get the two to marry up. Sometimes that might be teaching things like conversation skills or social skills. Sometimes it's reading emotions. Sometimes it's understanding your behavioural impacts on the people around you. Other times it might be understanding how that impacts on you. So the things they say and do, how you interpret that and how we can modify your thoughts and your feelings. So it's very much individualised to the difficulty that you're having, and us using what we know from science works in that situation.